What's up, everyone? This is part two of my Raw review. Sorry, it's like the second time I've had to record it. YouTube is being just, they're pulling their usual bullshit with their uploading. It's really frustrating. But yeah, so this is part two of my Raw review. Um, Sorry about that. Hang on a sec. Yeah, sorry, I left off with King getting called down to the ring. No pun intended. And a nice pop for King and Cole. Asked him, he was like, King, I want to know what it was like for you when you were getting ready for your title match last night, in the locker room and getting ready to face Miz for the WWE Championship. Like, how did you feel? And he asked kind of like a snotty, sort of smarkish way. And King doesn't respond. And Cole is like, okay. He's like, what was it like to know that your dreams would later be shattered by the most must see, like the biggest must see WWE champion of all time, The Miz. And then again, King doesn't answer. And then Cole asks him, when Miz covered you last night and the ref counted 1, 2, 3, and you were lying on your back on the mat looking up at the like the lights, bright lights, and the roof of this arena, and looking up at your mother, and the crowd was like, oh, like that's fucking below the belt, Cole. And a lot of heat on him for that. It says, your mom had the best seat in the house, and King, grabs Cole by like the collar, like a bully would do, like up against the locker. He says, Michael Cole, he says, if you ever bring up my mother again, it'll be the last thing you ever talk about. Please wring his neck, King, please. And I think King challenges Cole. He's like, I may have not won the title last night or whatever. He said, but I do have a way into WrestleMania. He says, I'm issuing a WrestleMania challenge. It's like one-on-one, me versus you. And the crowd popped for it. I was like, fuck yeah. I've been wanting to see this. And Cole leaves. Calls King a senile old man and leaves the ring, like the little bitch that he is. And he goes back to the announce table. He's like, I'm going to do my job as a broadcast journalist. And King says, Cole, you always out here running your mouth, acting like a tough guy. Like, now's your chance. Like, back it up. And like, Cole rips off his blazer. He's like, gets all like, look, like, really, you're gonna do something, please. And then King calls. He's like, aren't you gonna show these people like what you're made of, or are you just like a yellow-bellied, gutless coward? And Cole got pissed at that, and he ended up throwing water in King's face, and King tried to chase him, and Cole hopped over the barricade and ran to the back like a little pussy. And the camera went back to King's face, and water, drenched all over him. He looked fucking pissed. So then backstage, you see the core walk into the ring, walking backstage to the ring for their match. We go to commercial, and back from commercial, we get another shitty preview for that movie, The Chaperone, which I looked at some of the critics' review of it, and they just all shit on it, like that. Like, they all just shit on that movie terribly, and who could blame them? It looks like a piece of trash, and the only WWE movie I enjoyed and I thought was actually legit, like good, was The Marine. Yes, Cena was in it, but he was good in it, and his wife was hot as fuck, and I just thought it was a good storyline. And See No Evil, Kane's movie, 2006 that came out, and that he was just murking people, and I enjoyed that. And then even Stone Cold's movie, The Condemned, that looks, was that WWE Films? I don't know if it was or not, but that was fucking badass. I liked that. Triple H, he was in Blade Trinity. I liked that movie. He was good in that, and Jessica Biel in it, of course. Damn. But I mean, come on, Trips, don't stoop this low. So then King joins Josh Matthews on commentary. It's Cole obviously ran to the back, so he's not coming out. Out comes the Core, Wade Barrett and Ezekiel Jackson with Slater and Gabriel. And then the Miz comes out, and then followed by Cena last. So the Miz and John Cena versus Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel for the WWE Tag Team titles. And so the match is going along all right. Miz and Cena are actually working together, and the Miz hits the Skull Crusher finale out of nowhere on Justin Gabriel for the 1, 2, 3, and I was like, whoa, we have new tag team champions? What the fuck? Then Wade Barrett gets on the mic after and says, and at this point, the clock, it was 10:50 on the dot. So I was like, oh, word. I was like, maybe The Rock will come down and like rock bottom Cena and Miz, because the interaction those three have had the last like couple weeks. But Wade Barrett on the mic says, no, the core is going to invoke the rematch clause for those titles, and it's going to be right now. Then an email comes in, and Josh Matthews reads it, and the GM says, ring the bell. So it's John Cena and The Miz versus Slater and Gabriel in a rematch for the tag team titles, and Slater and Gabriel ended up winning, regaining the WWE Tag Team Championships. Thanks to The Miz, who was in the match most of the time, took a beating, and he and Cena actually, were working together, tagged each other in and stuff, and the finish came when Cena came in like a house of fire, his 5 moves of doom. Then it goes for the FU on Heath Slater, and ref's back was distracted, and Miz came in and hit the skull-crushing finale on Cena while Slater was on John's shoulders. And then Slater covers Cena for the 3, so Heath Slater and Justice Gabriel are once again your new tag team champions. And Raw goes off there with Miz standing at the top of the ramp with his WWE title, and Cena looking in the ring looking confused. So that's how they're showing off the air. And like I said, it was a good Raw, but I was just expecting like more. I was really disappointed Rock wasn't there. I kind of expected it today, even before the show started. But I just hope I really am hoping there's 6 weeks till WrestleMania. I really hope The Rock I hope he's didn't just come back last week, and that's great. That's great. Obviously, I love the fact that he's back. I mean, I fucking busted a huge nut when he returned last week, but it's beyond the point. I hope he just didn't come back last week, and then we don't see him for the next 6 weeks on Raw, and then he's at WrestleMania. And then next night on Raw he's gone again, just like that. We don't see him for another 7 years. Like, come on, man. I don't want that fucking shit to happen. That would just really just suck the life right out of me as a wrestling fan. And I mean, even the interaction, like I was even expecting maybe even Rock to come out, interrupt Cena, like promo on him in the beginning of the show, but it didn't happen. And then Miz, talked about The Rock, talked trash about him later. So there's got to be something going on between these. There's got to be an interaction with these 3 at WrestleMania, whether it's a match, whether Rock beats the shit out of both of them, just something. Like, I want to see that happen, and I want to see Rock be on Raw over the next 5 or 6 weeks till get more involved with those 2 as feuding with them. You know what I mean? Just like, it's so frustrating, man. I don't want to see The Rock do that. Come back just for one Raw and then WrestleMania. I want to see him be in all the Raws in between, as much as he can at least. So hopefully Rock will be on Raw next week. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But the best part of the segment of the night was obviously Taker returning, and then Triple H right after him, literally interrupting his return. And I don't know, they didn't say anything the whole time. They just stared each other down and looked at the WrestleMania sign and did that and suck it. But they'll obviously they'll start their feud next week. I'm almost positive. But from what I've heard is this is going to be the main event for Mania, and it's going to be another career versus streak match. That's what I've just been reading a lot of different places, and if that's the case, like, oh man, I was going to save this for another video, but I'm just going to do it now, like my thoughts on this. So it's just like, I just don't, man, damn, the Knicks gave up a lot for Melo. Wow. Sorry, watching SportsCenter. Wow. Anyway, but I would really don't want to see that. I mean, Sean retiring last year, and then if Triple H retires this year, I mean, my God, that would be such a dagger to me. Triple H is one of my all-time favorites. I mean, I love the guy. You can say what you want about him. He's slept his way to the top. It was backstage politics, whatever. We don't know what goes on backstage. Are any of us actually at a Raw or SmackDown or a pay-per-view backstage? No. Have we ever been? No. So you never know. I'm sure there is some truth to that. Yeah, I'm sure. But then again, I mean, the guy's been through 2 almost career-ending, worked his way back from 2 career-ending quad injuries in 2002 and 2001/2002 to 2007. I mean, and then this latest bicep injury, you got to give this man credit, man. He's a fucking workhorse. When Austin and Rock left, Triple H was the last. I called them the big three because they were the big three, the WWE, Rock, Austin, and Trips. When Rock and Austin left, do their own things, Triple H said, you know what? I'm still here. I'm going to make the most of it. And I mean, he ran roughshod over Raw, to that right when he's with Evolution all the way 2003, 2004, and then when it was him with Nate, Ric Flair as his manager, I guess you would call him, and just he won titles, he did his thing, man. He didn't go anywhere. Sure, he took a little break maybe, but he didn't fucking go away for long. He didn't go away to make movies and shit. He worked his ass off because that's what his business is, his life. Triple H. You can shit on him all you want. He's top 3 favorite wrestlers in my top 3, and I'm getting upset just thinking about it. I just don't want to see Triple H, come back for 2 months, then wrestle WrestleMania, and then retire. It would just suck the life out of me. And if that's gonna happen, that's the case. I'm not gonna lie. I will be bawling my eyes out when Triple H retires, whatever that may be, whether it's at WrestleMania, whether it be later this year or the summer, or even into the fall down the line. It's gonna be upsetting, and that's the thing. If this is a career versus streak match, because Triple H has talked about calling it quits, recently, and because he's starting to learn more of the business end, of the WWE, he'll probably, the Vince may hand over the reins to him once Vince steps down as chairman. But I think Triple H, if it is career versus streak, I think Triple H should be the guy to beat Undertaker, not fucking John Cena. If that match happens next year, him and Taker. Because I just think Triple H should beat the Undertaker and the streak, and then have some more feuds, win a title or more too over the summer, later into the year, and if you want to retire this year, make it towards the end of the year. I want to see you wrestle all year. I don't want to see you come back wrestle for a month and a half or 2, fucking lose at WrestleMania. I don't want to see that, man. But sorry, the fucking light is in the way. There we go. So yeah, I just don't want to see that happen, and that's how I want to see that shit happen with Triple H. But nonetheless, it's going to be a great match at WrestleMania. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, might steal the show, but so we'll see what happens. Hope you guys enjoyed Raw tonight, and man, yeah, sorry, I just thinking about that fucking, Shawn last year losing to Taker, and then Hunter, if he loses this year, Taker, like, damn, Undertaker just fucking ended everyone's career. But, I mean, because once Triple H is gone, it's just Undertaker and Kane left, and Big Show, really, the 3 guys who I grew up watching. And, Big Show, I think, is the youngest of all of them. He's 38, or he just turned 39, actually, I think. Taker's like 45, and then Kane's like 43 or something, so they're not going to be around for much longer. So, we'll see how long this trip ends up staying around for. But, so yeah, Raw, it was good tonight. I thought it was a bit of a letdown. No Rock or anything, but the Triple H Undertaker segment was pretty awesome. I did mark out when Triple H returned. So, yeah, just comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought of the show, guys, and I'm out. Peace.